License and registration. Step out of the vehicle.
I'm actually heading to work. Can I ask why you pulled me?
I said step out now.
Okay, I'm stepping out. I just want to know what I did wrong.
Don't play dumb with me. Where are you really going?
To work. I told you.
Huh, sure you are. Hands behind your back.
Wait. This isn't...
You're under arrest.
Officer Daniels had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 72 hours, his badge would be taken away. His department would be placed under federal investigation, and his city would write a check for $12.8 million. The driver he just handcuffed was Senior Special Agent Marcus Williams. He was a 14-year veteran of the FBI's Civil Rights Division. Agent Williams investigated police misconduct for a living. He had personally led 47 excessive force cases. He had testified before Congress twice, and at that exact moment, he was heading to the FBI field office 3 miles away. His entire team was waiting for him there. And the dashcam from Officer Daniels' patrol car was capturing everything. Before I continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone in power? Drop your answer in the comments. But Officer Daniels had no idea who he just handcuffed. Senior Special Agent Marcus Terrell Williams wasn't just any FBI agent. He was a lead investigator in the Civil Rights Division. He had worked for the Bureau for 14 years. He graduated from Howard University with a degree in criminal justice. Then he got his Master S in criminology from Georgetown. At the FBI Academy in Quantico, he finished in the top 5% of his class. But here's what made this stop different. Agent Williams specialized in investigating dirty cops. Specifically, he investigated cases under Section 242. That's the federal law that covers police misconduct. He had led 47 excessive force investigations. His conviction rate, 89%. He had testified before Congress twice about police reform. He taught FBI training classes on how to deal with tense situations. His colleagues across law enforcement respected him. He was known for being fair but tough. He was a father of 2 kids. He was active in community outreach programs. That Tuesday morning in April, he was just trying to get to work. He was wearing business casual clothes. His FBI credentials were in his wallet. He had a 9 a.m. briefing at the office. It was supposed to be a normal day. On that morning, Agent Williams was just trying to get to work on time. Officer Ryan Daniels had a different kind of reputation in his department. He was 34 years old. He had been on the force for 8 years. He was a patrol officer with the Riverside Police Department. Before becoming a cop, he served 4 years in the Marines. But here's what most people didn't know. Daniels had 7 formal complaints filed against him in 6 years. Every single one involved Black or Latino drivers. Internal Affairs reviewed 4 of them. All 4 were marked as unfounded or unsubstantiated. The police union protected him every single time. Let me tell you about 3 of those incidents. In 2019, he pulled over a 22-year-old black man. Daniels claimed the driver made suspicious movements. He searched the car without getting permission. He found nothing. The complaint was dismissed. In 2021, he pulled over a black family with kids in the car. He kept them there for 45 minutes. He said they matched the description of robbery suspects. The description didn't actually match them. He never apologized. In 2023, he stopped a Latino businessman in the same neighborhood. He said the man was driving too slow. He demanded to search the trunk. Turns out the businessman was a city councilman. That complaint led to a written warning, but Daniels faced no real punishment. Veteran officers had a nickname for him. They called him, quote, a king. He always hit his stop numbers. Younger officers noticed something else. Most of his stops happened in minority neighborhoods. 2 training officers wrote in his reviews that he had an aggressive approach. Type accountability in the comments if you think this pattern matters. But on April 18, 2024, Ryan Daniels would finally pull over the wrong person. It was Tuesday, April 18, 2024. The time was 8:37 a.m. The location was Riverside Boulevard. It was 2 miles from the FBI field office. The street was tree-lined with a mix of homes and businesses. The posted speed limit was 35 miles per hour. It was morning rush hour with moderate traffic. It was a warm spring morning. The sky was clear. Commuters were heading to work. School buses were making their rounds. Coffee shops were opening up. Joggers were on the sidewalks. Agent Williams was alone in his personal car. It was a silver Honda Accord. Officer Daniels was in his patrol car by himself. There were 4 or 5 other vehicles nearby. 2 people were standing on the corner. They would later become witnesses. Williams was driving 33 miles per hour in a 35 zone. He signaled his lane change properly. Daniels was 3 cars behind him. Suddenly, Daniels accelerated. At 8:37 a.m., the lights came on. Williams checked his mirrors. He put on his signal. He pulled into a parking lot. He put his hands on the steering wheel. He knew the protocol. He was FBI. He knew exactly what to do. Daniels walked up to the driver's side. His hand was near his gun. Williams had his window already down. He greeted the officer calmly. Daniels didn't greet him back. He immediately demanded Williams' license. Williams reached slowly for his wallet. He said out loud what he was doing. "Stop moving," Daniels said. "Keep your hands where I can see them." Agent Williams had been through hundreds of traffic stops, but he had always been the investigator. He knew exactly what was happening, and he knew this wasn't a normal stop. If stories like this matter to you, hit that subscribe button right now. "Why are you in this neighborhood?" Daniels asked. "I work nearby," Williams said. "Can I ask what I was pulled over for?" "I'm asking the questions. Where do you work?" "The FBI field office, 3 miles that way." Daniels laughed. "Sure you do. Step out of the vehicle." "Officer, I'm happy to do that," Williams said, "but I'd like to know why." "Don't make me ask again." "Okay, I'm stepping out. I'm reaching for my seatbelt." Williams got out of the car. His hands were visible the whole time. "Turn around, face the car," Daniels ordered. "Can you tell me what violation?" "You were driving suspiciously, looking around. You seemed nervous." "I was checking my mirrors. I wasn't speeding. I signaled every." "Don't tell me what you were doing." "Where are you coming from? Who do you know in this area?" "I live 15 minutes away. I drive this route every day." "We've had break-ins in this neighborhood. You match a description." Williams kept his voice calm. "What description?" "Don't worry about it. Hands behind your back." "Officer, I'm a federal agent. My credentials are in my wallet." "Sure they are. Everyone's a cop when they get pulled over." "I'm not resisting, but you need to check my..." Daniels got aggressive. "I said hands behind your back, now." Williams did what he was told. He knew resisting was dangerous. A woman named Sarah Chen was walking nearby. She was 29 years old. She worked as an accountant. She stopped walking. She pulled out her phone. She started recording. A man named James Ortiz was across the street. He was 41. He was a teacher. He crossed the street to get a closer view. He started recording too. A woman in a nearby car noticed what was happening. Her name was Maria Gonzalez. She saw how aggressive Daniels was acting. She wrote down his badge number. Daniels grabbed Williams' wrist hard. Williams winced, but he didn't pull away. Daniels put the handcuffs on. They were too tight. "Too tight," Williams said. Daniels ignored him. He pushed Williams against the car. The body camera showed Daniels' face. He was smirking. Now here's what Officer Daniels didn't know. Williams' phone was still in his pocket. It had a special feature. When Williams said the words "federal agent," it auto-dialed his FBI partner. And 3 miles away, Special Agent Lisa Rodriguez had just heard everything. It was 8:41 a.m. Williams was in handcuffs. He was standing near the patrol car. "Officer, my FBI credentials are in my wallet," Williams said. "Right front pocket, badge number FD7734. "Yeah, I'll check that." "Sure," Daniels said. He didn't sound like he believed it. Daniels searched through the wallet. He found the driver's license first. He ran it through the system. It came back clean. Of course it did. Then Daniels saw the FBI credentials. The dashcam captured his face. First there was confusion, then panic. Why didn't you say you were FBI? Daniels asked. I did 3 times, Williams said. Daniels stared at the credentials. There was an official gold badge. There was an ID card. It said Senior Special Agent Marcus T. Williams, Civil Rights Division. Well, you should have said it right away, Daniels said. He was trying to backtrack. I tried. You told me to stop talking. Sarah Chen walked closer. Officer, I recorded this whole thing. He told you he was FBI. Ma'am, step back, Daniels said. James Ortiz spoke up too. I've got video too. You didn't let him explain anything. This is none of your business. Clear the area. Maria Gonzalez shouted from her car. I got your badge number. This is racial profiling. Let me tell you what evidence was being captured. The dashcam recorded the entire stop. The audio was crystal clear. The body camera was on. That was policy. It showed how calm Williams stayed. Sarah's phone had 4 minutes of video. It showed everything from the approach to the handcuffs. James' phone had 3 minutes from a different angle, and Williams' phone was still on a call with Agent Rodriguez. She heard the entire thing. At 8:43 a.m., Agent Rodriguez called the FBI duty officer. 1 minute later, the duty officer called the RIV. Arside Police Chief directly. At 8:46 a.m., 2 FBI vehicles were on their way. Agent Rodriguez and a supervisor were coming. They would arrive in 3 minutes. At 8:47 a.m., Daniels' radio made a sound. His sergeant gave him an order. Stand by, do not transport the suspect. Daniels realized his department knew what happened. At 8:48 a.m., Daniels took off the handcuffs. Look, there was a misunderstanding, Daniels said. You're free to go. Williams rubbed his wrists. No, there wasn't a misunderstanding. You profiled me. You ignored my ID. You made this worse for no reason. I was just doing my job. No, you were doing exactly what I investigate. At 8:49 a.m., 2 FBI vehicles pulled up. Agent Rodriguez got out. Her badge was clearly visible. Agent Williams, you okay? She asked. Williams nodded. Rodriguez looked at Daniels. We need that dashcam footage, now. An FBI supervisor stepped out of the second car. His name was SSA Kenneth Hart. Officer, my agent was driving to our office, Hart said. Why was he stopped? Daniels was stuttering. He matched a description. What description? Hart asked. Daniels said nothing. Comment below if you think Officer Daniels knew he messed up. By now, Officer Daniels was starting to understand. He had made a huge mistake, but he had no idea this was already out of his control. At 8:52 a.m., a Riverside police sergeant arrived. His name was Michael Torres. He had been on the force for 18 years. He worked with internal affairs. A lieutenant also showed up. Her name was Brenda Castillo. She was the supervising officer. The FBI now had 3 people on scene. SSA Hart, Agent Rodriguez, and an evidence technician. Torres pulled Daniels to the side. What the hell happened? Daniels started talking. The vehicle looked suspicious. The driver was being evasive. He matched the description of a burglary suspect. What burglary? Torres asked. We have no active calls in this area. It was from last week, Daniels said. There's an FBI agent in handcuffs on your dashcam. Start talking. The FBI tech went to work right away. He downloaded the dashcam footage. The FBI had legal authority to do that. Torres reviewed the body camera on the patrol car laptop. The witnesses gave copies of their videos. Sarah and James handed them over willingly. Then Daniels' story started falling apart. He said Williams was driving suspiciously, but the dashcam showed the truth. Williams was going 33 in a 35 zone. He signaled every turn. He followed every traffic law. There was no erratic behavior at all. He said Williams matched a burglary description. Torres checked the dispatch records. There were no burglary calls in that area for 11 days. There was no description matching Williams on any bulletin. He said Williams was evasive and didn't say who he was, but the body camera had audio. Williams said, "I'm a federal agent 3 times. It was at 47 seconds into the stop, then at 1 minute 23 seconds, then at 2 minutes 18 seconds. Daniels dismissed him every single time." Lieutenant Castillo walked over to Daniels. "Badge and gun, you're on leave." "What? I was doing my job," Daniels said. "You detained an FBI agent without any reason. This is a federal case now." Torres added more, "Internal Affairs will contact you, don't talk to anyone." They put Daniels in a separate car. They drove him back to the station. That was standard procedure. SSA Hart turned to Agent Williams. "Do you need medical attention?" "My wrists are bruised. I'll get it checked out," Williams said. "We are opening a civil rights investigation. This goes to OPR and the Department of Justice." Agent Rodriguez took Williams to the field office. He needed a medical evaluation. He needed to give a formal statement. Daniels was sitting in the patrol car. His body camera was still recording. He was talking to himself. "This is bull. I didn't do anything wrong." At the station, he refused to speak without his union rep. The rep arrived 90 minutes later. He told Daniels to stay quiet. Williams got treated by FBI medical staff. They took photos of the bruising on his wrists. He filed a formal incident report. The Riverside police chief sent out an internal memo. It said the department would fully cooperate with the federal investigation. The FBI interviewed both witnesses formally. If you believe in accountability, hit subscribe. We're exposing stories like this every week. But this was just the beginning. Someone uploaded the witness video to Twitter, and by lunchtime, the entire country would know Agent Williams' name. At 11:47 a.m., Sarah Chen uploaded her video to Twitter. Her caption said, "Just watched a cop arrest an FBI agent for driving while black. This is Riverside PD. This is 2024. #racial profiling." By 12:15 p.m., it had 1,200 retweets. It had 34 red likes. By 1 p.m., local activist accounts picked it up. It had 18,000 views. By 2:30 p.m., it was trending, #1 in Riverside, #4 in the state. The hashtag was FBI agent arrested. By 4 p.m., local news ran the story. Channel 7 put it on air. The headline was, "FBI agent detained in controversial traffic stop." By 6 p.m., national news picked it up. CNN ran it. MSNBC ran it. The story was going national. By 9 p.m., the numbers were massive. 2.1 million views on Twitter, 890,000 on TikTok, 1.4 million on Instagram Reels. By midnight, it was trending #2 in the whole country. Celebrities retweeted it. John Legend shared it. Senator Cory Booker commented. The ACLU posted about it. Let me give you the final numbers. Twitter had 4.7 million views, 340,000 retweets, 1.2 million likes. TikTok had 3.2 million views, 15,000 people made response videos. Instagram had 2.8 million views. The NAACP shared it, so did Color of Change. On Reddit, it hit the front page. It got 67,000 upvotes. The comments were powerful. A civil rights lawyer wrote, "This is textbook profiling. The officer had zero reason to stop him." Someone who worked for the federal government wrote, "Imagine being an FBI agent who investigates police misconduct and becoming a victim of it." A retired police chief wrote, "I'm former law enforcement. This stop was wrong from second one. Pure profiling." A college professor wrote, "And people wonder why we say the system is broken. Even people inside the system aren't safe." Local news covered it on all 4 networks. It was on the front page of the Riverside Times. CNN ran a segment. MSNBC had a whole discussion. NPR covered it. Podcasts talked about it. The Breakfast Club interviewed a civil rights attorney about the case. At 8 p.m., Riverside PD released a statement. It said, "We are aware of an incident involving one of our officers. We are conducting a full investigation." At 10 p.m., the FBI released their own statement. It said, "The FBI is reviewing an incident involving one of our agents. We take these matters seriously." The police union tried to defend Daniels. They said, "Officer Daniels followed protocol and is cooperating fully," but the public didn't believe it. The union's Facebook page got flooded with angry comments. People found Daniels' personal Facebook page. He had posted Blue Lives Matter content. He had shared questionable memes. He deleted his page, but people had already taken screenshots. Those screenshots went viral too. Comment below, did you see this story when it went viral? What was your reaction? 3 days later, Officer Daniels' attorney released a statement. It said Daniels feared for his safety. The FBI's response was 2 words: prove it. 8 days after the stop, the FBI sent the case to the Department of Justice. 12 days later, the DOJ opened a formal investigation. They were looking at whether Daniels violated federal civil rights law. 4 weeks in, a federal grand jury asked for Riverside PD's records. 2 months later, the DOJ made an announcement. They were investigating the entire Riverside Police Department for a pattern of civil rights violations. But that wasn't all. 15 days after the stop, Agent Williams filed a lawsuit. It was a civil rights case. He sued Officer Daniels personally. He sued the Riverside Police Department. He sued the city of Riverside. The lawsuit said he was falsely arrested. It said he was unlawfully detained. It said he was racially profiled. It said the handcuffs were too tight and caused injury. It said the department failed to train their officers. It said the city was responsible. During discovery, Williams' lawyers asked for everything. They got Daniels' complete work file, and here's what they found. Daniels didn't have 7 complaints. He had 7 formal complaints, but there were 12 more that were never officially logged. Internal Affairs wrote a note about Daniels in 2021. It said he was high risk for a civil rights violation, but the department did nothing. No extra training, no reassignment, no punishment at all. They found something else too. 2 black officers had filed complaints about Daniels. They said he used racial slurs. Those complaints were marked as lost. The evidence was overwhelming. 147 pages of records, 19 witness statements under oath, 8 hours of video. 8 months later, the city's attorneys had a meeting. They told the city council the case couldn't be won. They recommended a settlement. Wait until you hear how much they paid. I'll break it down for you. $8.5 million in damages. That was for emotional distress, for harm to his reputation, for the violation of his civil rights. $3.2 million in punitive damages. That's the money meant to punish wrongdoing. $1.1 million in attorney fees and costs. The total, $12.8 million. But there was more than just money. Officer Daniels was fired. It happened as soon as the settlement was signed. The Riverside Police Department had to accept federal monitoring for 3 years. Every officer had to go through bias training twice a year. The department had to review body camera footage randomly. A civilian board was created to oversee complaints. The Department of Justice decided not to file criminal charges. The bar for federal criminal cases is very high, but the county DA filed state charges. Daniels was charged with official misconduct. He was charged with false imprisonment. Both were misdemeanors. Daniels took a plea deal. He avoided a trial. He got 6 months in county jail. The sentence was suspended. That means he didn't serve the time, but he got 2 years of probation. He had to do 200 hours of community service. And here's the big one. He lost his certification as a police officer. It was permanent. It applied to the entire state. Daniels can never work in law enforcement again. Private security companies won't hire him. The liability is too high. Agent Williams also got a restraining order. Daniels has to stay 500 yards away from him. Daniels issued an apology through his attorney. It said, "I regret the misunderstanding and any distress caused." But people weren't buying it. He called it a misunderstanding. The video showed it was profiling. The apology got mocked all over social media. Agent Williams held a press conference 10 months after the stop. He said, "This was never about money. It's about accountability. It's about making sure no other agent, no other black man has to go through what I did. He donated $2 million of the settlement to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. He said, I had resources, I had a badge, I had a team. Most people don't. That's why this system has to change. But the story